Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm going to present my final year project of fashion design. First of all, my design concept is about global warming. Global warming is a very serious issue since the mid-20th century. I'm trying to deliver this message by designing my full collection in pre-sportswear. If you ask me why I want to choose pre-sportswear, it's because pre-sports is a fashion trend nowadays. A lot of the big fashion brand are designing pre-sports for everybody to wear. And pre-sports has become a very common thing in our world right now. So I hope I can deliver the message easily to the audience through my collection. My collection is including the prints that can easily recognized by people about what I want to bring out to, such as the polar bear and thermometer printing on my collection. Other than that, I'm also doing tie-dye to bring out the cracking effects of the ice melting part. I'm focusing on both women's wear and men's wear. Total 5 looks will be done in my final collection. The collection will including 3 women's wear and 2 men's wear. My target market is those who love sportswear and fashion. I'm targeting the middle upper class people who has income around 4 to 10,000, both men and women. My product price range is from around 100 ringgit to 400 ringgit compared to other brand in Malaysia. Compared to other sportswear brand in Malaysia, my brand positioning is more on the fashionable and high price. Brands such as the Liberty Active is focused more on the basic and functional garments. Brands such as the Love Fit also focusing on the basic and functional garments, and their price range is lower compared to my brand. The problem that I faced during completing my full collection is that the sewing part is more on the sewing part, because the elastic band actually is quite difficult to sew, especially for those 2-inch or 3 inches elastic band. So I need to pin and I need to sew it, and I have to ask my brother to help me to pin because I have to pull and somebody have to help me to pin it. So when I sew, and I have to really stretch it with my strength so I can sew it nicely and flat. Another problem that I faced during sewing my full collection is the well pocket with zipper. Actually, it's very difficult to sew that one, and I have one design is with the well pocket zipper. So actually, I need to watch YouTube few times, and I need to really sew the sample first using the calico to sew it first before I proceed to the actual. So actually, that one is quite wasting some time at that part. Another thing is the stretchable fabric that I need to sew, is because I have to sew it with the portable machine, and the problem is that I don't have the portable machine, so I need to borrow it from my friend, and sometimes it's difficult to negotiate the time when I want to sew because she also has to sew her collection. So I have to wait for her to complete, and then I can just borrow her machine. So that one is also a little problem for me during I need to complete my collection. Other than that is the design that after I sew it out, the look one pants, the design cutting is a little bit weird. The cutting on the sensitive part of the woman body there is quite weird after I sew it, and I didn't realize before I sew it out because the color contrasting part that is very visible to, it's not really nice design. So after some discussion with the lecturer, then we decide to change the design. So I have to resew it again, but I have to check my fabric, is it enough or not. So that is a quite big problem for me during sewing the collection. Through all the progress, I've learned that choosing a right fabric is very important for different collection. And actually, I need to find the light and comfortable fabric, but it is difficult to find it in Malaysia. So almost all my fabric is buy it from Taobao. And before I buy the correct fabric, before I buy the actual fabric, I have to keep on buying the sample and check with the lecturer which one is more suitable for my collection, and so that I just can proceed to buying the actual fabric. Buying the correct fabric for every collection is very important, because fabric can brings out the feel of the collection that you want to bring it out to. And another thing is that sewing every toile and sample is very important during the progression, because we will face a lot of cutting problems and the shape problem that we design or we drafting is wrong. So we need to sew the toile first, and then we will have the perfect design or perfect cutting before we proceed to the actual. So through all the progression here, I hope that I can have some improvement in my technical sewing part, such as those well pocket with zipper things, and the stretchable fabric that I can't really sew it nicely sometimes. So I hope that I can have more improvement on that. And I also hope that I can improve my garments design, such as the functionality, those bag pockets or the zipper things, in add more and more things in my garments. But because of during the MCO and the time is very limit, so if we have enough time or we can have more face-to-face class in the university, I hope that I can improve more in my functionality on my garments. Not only that, I also hope that if we are not facing the CMCO right now, I hope that we can have more face-to-face class in the university. Because of this issue, we can't really have enough time to complete our things, our work in the studio, so we have to do it at home. So actually it's quite a difficult part for me, for my classmate. And yeah, so that's all for my presentation today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it.